This is Bob again. It's July 24th. Earlier this week I was at the Met Council meeting that approved another round of municipal consent. This video shows a statement that the chair, Adam Duininck, made to the council reporting on a meeting with FTA administrators. As I listened to the statement, it seems clear that the FTA's financial commitment is based on the assumption the legislature will provide another $150 million in funding for the project. However, at the special session, the House Speaker Kurt Daubt told me that no more money is going into Southwest Light Rail from the legislature next year. This needs to be clarified. I attempted multiple times to ask Chair Duininck about his statement and also asked other officials with the Met Council about that statement. I'm covering the media coverage, the mainstream media, and both the Star Trib and MinPost were represented with reporters at that meeting. I've got video of the chair, Duininck, speaking with both of them. One of them, Janet Moore, apparently wanted to speak with him privately, so I accommodated them, although this is a public building. And I emphasize to both reporters that I am covering the media's role in this. I'm particularly concerned that there is no reporting so far of Duininck's statement that again appears to indicate clearly that if there's no state money coming into this project from the legislature next year, that the federal money also will not be available. This needs to be clarified. And the mainstream media, in my judgment, is doing a very poor job of covering this project if they don't clarify this situation. Here is the video from that Wednesday meeting.
All right, I have a few things I can run through. I'll try to be brief. A couple weeks ago, I think this has been since I've given a report, but I met with the FDA administrator to talk to her and her senior staff about Southwest LRT and the tight timeline we're under within the next 18 months. And it's joined by Mr. Furman and Mr. Lamb, who helped set up the meeting, and I can safely report to everyone here it was about as successful as we would hope that it would have been in terms of an outcome. We started by talking about the success of the Green Line, how that's been open a little over a year now, showed the administrator a video about the business growth and the vibrancy along the line, and talked to her about the ridership. She was enormously thrilled and impressed with how that's been working, and then talked about the last few months that we've been working through the challenges of Southwest and what we foresee the next 18 months to look like. The real challenge for us and our staff in the project office is how do we work through the environmental process very quickly and then move from where we are in the federal process into engineering, be accepted into engineering, and be awarded a full funding grant agreement in a very compressed timeline. And what I can, again, report back to everybody is the FTA is very supportive of this project, really understands the value of it, wants to do everything they can to work with us to make sure we stay on that timeline. They understand the sensitivities of it. They know that we have a legislative session that we have to work through and secure the remaining funds. But they basically said if you're able to get those funds, we'll definitely on our end be able to help deliver at the technical staff level the environmental and engineering pieces of the process to put the project in a position to succeed. So that was, I think, and I think Mark would agree with me, about as successful of a meeting as we could hope for with the administrator, and she was very happy to spend just about an hour with us talking about Southwest. So it was a great meeting. I wanted to give you that update.
You have time for a couple questions? Do you have time for a couple questions?
Yeah, they all do.
Thank you.
Well, no, one did. I do beer.
This one just comes on the consent agenda. So the other meaning to this, these are all things that are message. These communities are one there and there's 3 there.
We have a Mayflies there? You know what I was going to say? I'm going to be
they're all the days. It specifically says, Judy had so I'm building through that.
well, that's the case.
Surprise decision. This is, that's what we're doing. Small communities together. They come out of them now, getting subscription offers. I mean, they're bored. Just connect from Farmington.
Just a very.
Yeah. So we're being healthy. It's actually working. So
You know,
I mean,
that's great.
Headed off because they're worried about
So, in general, I'll send you.
Okay, thank you. That's what I need.
That's just what I'm checking if you want. You got the
Is the FTA money contingent on the legislature providing it, or will they provide it?
That's much now that
It's a public room. It's a public room. It's a public building. Just want to point out that this is a public building. I'm covering the media covering this story. This is part of the story. So just be aware of that. Yeah. I will accommodate you on that, but I just want you to know what I'm doing.
So yeah.
I can track it down.
Yeah, okay, super. I got all.
Okay, all right, see ya.
If you look at the
Got time for a question or two?
Not on tape. I'm not.
No? Okay. Okay. I'm covering the role of the media as part of this, and that's why I asked. But you're not willing to speak on that on the record? Or?
Point, but I don't want to do it right now.
Okay. Well, I'll take you up on that. I appreciate it.
Yeah, just
Thank you.
where do you, are you in Minneapolis?
I live in Minneapolis.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll find you.
Okay.
You can find me. You know how to find me.
Well, this is a civil society, and we have email and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so here,
Okay.
just email
Got
me.
another
I'll
one.
find
Thank you.
Okay.
Take care, Peter. I don't know if you want to answer a couple questions on video or maybe not, but I do have a couple questions. The big question is on the FTA meeting, is the federal money contingent on the legislature providing money, or will they consider funding it if it's based on certificates of participation?
Well, Bob, we're still working through some of these questions. So
Can either of you answer that, or
I think it's probably best that we just get back to you on that. We're having some of those discussions.
Okay, well that is my pending question. Okay,
Yep,
thank you.
that's a good question.
One further question: has Chair Duininck met with Tim Kelly? Has that meeting occurred yet?
Yeah, we had a conversation last week
Okay. Where was it? Just curious.
in his office.
Okay, real good. Thank you.
Yeah, I think it was last week.
Okay.
So they talked.
Yeah, very good. I knew they were going to. Thank you.
Oh, really? All right, I'm gonna head back. All right, see you guys. See you, Adam. See ya.
Chair Duininck, can you tell me if the FTA would fund the project based on certificates of participation, or are they requiring money from the legislature? No answer so far.
We shared the information with you
Yeah.
already, Bob.
Okay, thank you, I appreciate it. Just want to emphasize, this is a public building.